Oh, hi, one person who watches all of Sean Daniels' videos. It is us, two persons that is making this video.
Mm-hmm. It's funny how it's a joke on your channel, but on my channel it could actually be like a literal thing that's happening. Yes, I'm very thankful for you, one person who does watch the videos. Today we're going to hit you with some tips.
Yes.
We're known for our tips and our
tricks. Tricks and tips.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll tell you a number of things to know when you buy your first guitar.
Oh my gosh. A lot of pressure on our shoulders right now.
Yes.
But that's why we take the heat. That's what we do. We show up, we take the heat, and we slay.
Yes.
First thing you gotta know, acoustic or electric?
Yes. It's a very big question. People like, should I get acoustic or electric? Because like acoustic, you don't have to plug it in. And it's like acoustic is just like electric, right? And, and if I want to, I can transition from acoustic to electric. Wrong! They're two different instruments. Strings are totally different. Action is unadjustable. So here's the tip. The people who you listen to play guitar, which guitar do they play? Do they play electric or acoustic? And is that the final sort of end game music you're looking to play on the guitar? And that's the kind of guitar you should get.
Are all these tips going to be that aggressive with the delivery?
This is me. Billy!
Do you even want to learn it? You should play guitar! Get a real job!
Buy a piano book!
This will only end in sadness for you. But if you do continue, and you want to learn acoustic guitar, maybe let's start with some acoustic tips of what you're looking for, right?
Well, if you're listening to Tommy Emmanuel, you're listening to this other guy that I've seen does like a tippity tap on acoustic guitar, and that's
Andy?
what you want.
Andy McPhee?
I don't know.
His name?
I don't know
Andy
his name.
McKee?
Rick Beato knows his name.
What? You're really going hard on piano today, man. Rick, I'm sorry.
It's only the second one.
I'm sorry, Rick. I got no beef with Beato.
Okay.
Yeah, so like you said, what do you like to listen to? Right? And even if it's like, okay, I want to choose an acoustic guitar, within that genre of the acoustic genre, there are other considerations. I think one thing you definitely want to pay attention to is body type and size. Okay? So maybe you do want to do some kind of Tony the Tiger Emanuel stuff. Mm-hmm. That's an inside joke for people who watched for a while. Cutaway, right?
Yeah.
So right here, there's a cutaway. Right, some acoustic guitars don't have a cutaway, and you can't get access to the top frets, right? Mm-hmm. For me, and what I like in a guitar, I think the grand auditorium size is what's best for my body type, right? I feel like the dreadnoughts can be a little big at sometimes, like if I'm performing live and I have a guitar strapped on me for 3 hours, dreadnoughts big. It's a big guitar.
It's a big responsibility.
It is. With great power comes great responsibility, Maybe you're a tiny little man. Get a little parlor guitar. Why is that funny? Why is that funny if you're a tiny man?
Thinking of.
God, I have to edit this. I love that. Every time I have Dovy on this channel, I'm always sweating during the filming from like how much.
Wait till we get to the brands.
Oh my God. Oh jeez. All right. So yeah, acoustic guitar, find out what size you want. The size makes a big difference on the sound and how loud it is too. And that's my tip for thinking of the size of the acoustic guitar and learning the body types. GA, Grand Auditorium is my thing. If you want to be like SD, get yourself a GA. Mm-hmm. How about another tip?
Another tip. Number next. Tone woods only apply to acoustic guitars.
Oh, that sounds like a hot take.
Tone woods in electric guitars is a myth.
That's you just dropped a wisdom bomb right there. Why is it a myth?
The electric guitar pickup magnetically picks up the vibration of a metal string. And that's that.
Okay. Great.
And especially if you use overdrive, distortion, fuzz, or anything like that, it's irrelevant. I've played guitars made out of plastic. I've played guitars made out of cardboard, veneer, even metal, even a bowling pin. If it has an electric pickup wound with a copper wire, no snob would ever would be able to identify the tone woods.
Very true.
But on the acoustic guitar, it matters. So whenever you like shopping for a guitar, and if it's like electric and they're like starting like the tone wood talk, that is not someone you would like to associate.
Run. Run from the electric guitar tone wood mob. Flee.
Yes.
Flee, you fools.
Is that the quote?
Yeah.
Did he say fly, you fools?
Fly, you fool. I don't know, man. I don't know. It always. Why does it always go to Lord of the Rings? We never actually talk about Lord of the Rings in Buddy Life, but when the camera comes on, there's always a Lord of the Rings reference. I don't know why that is. Tone woods on acoustic guitar. Also, if you're thinking about buying your first acoustic guitar, you're probably not going to tell the difference, honestly. I feel like hearing tone woods is something that comes with becoming a seasoned guitar player.
Yes.
Right? I remember we blindfold tested the Taylor rep years ago. Be like, can you hear the difference? I didn't think he'd be able to do it, but he did it.
Wow.
I was very impressed. He had a great ear because he'd been doing it for decades.
Wow.
And he was able to hear the difference of like Sapelli back and sides versus like, you know, like that. Like, I can't do that.
Wow.
You know what
I
could
do that.
maybe do like mahogany versus maple full, maybe.
I could do
You know?
acoustic versus electric not plugged in. I could.
Now you can do that.
It.
Huh?
That's it.
Oh yeah. Oh, are you sure? Here's
I think Rick Beato has a denim in yellow.
a denim tally.
No, he has a jacket that's yellow denim.
Does he really?
Yeah.
I think Rick looks good in the denim.
Yeah.
I think he does.
I admire that look.
I feel like you're not being serious. Rick, I think your hands. I don't know why it's really going. What's another tip?
Another tip. You should know how to make the most basic adjustments and the components that are part of that basic adjustment of your guitar. Because sometimes your first guitar, you might pick it up, this doesn't feel right, this feels very good. And number one, the reason for returns at Guitar Center is actually not set up guitars. So the components for adjustment is the neck straight, and there's a truss rod inside of every neck on the electric guitar, saddles, bridge, and that's actually pretty much it when it comes to playability.
Yeah. So basically, if it just doesn't play right, it might not be the actual guitar. It could be a great guitar that just has a poor setup.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, what do you do when you first pick up an electric guitar? What is the first thing that you look for and you check?
I look down the neck like this.
And what are you looking for?
I'm looking if it's straight. And sometimes you look down the neck, it can be straight, or it can be like curved like that, or like the other way, and it doesn't even play through. This is like the action is like way too high, and like, oh, why is it like blistering my fingers? You're like, it's like leaving permanent imprints when you're like, oh, it's so hard, you know. So I take the truss rod adjuster, which is an Allen wrench, and I twist it in the appropriate direction to like straighten out the neck. And then, if I need to, I lower the saddles. And don't be afraid to do it. This is designed for that exact purpose. For you to take your little Allen wrench and lower it or heighten it. Don't be afraid to experiment. People like, oh my God, this is like surgery. You know, this is your guitar. You buy a guitar. It's yours now. And you should know basic things. Just like when you're driving a vehicle, you should probably know where the oil thing is to put the oil in.
The oil thing, yeah.
I don't even know.
Smart, yeah, but you should know.
You should know.
For sure, you should.
You know, or like light comes on and it says you're out of windshield wiper fluid. You should know how to refill it.
Sure.
So, you know, same thing with kind of this, you know? You don't have to like be a guitar builder, but
Yeah, or if you're like me, you just have to know who to pay to do it for you. which is another life skill.
It's a life skill.
To delegate when the time comes.
Yeah.
But seriously, a lot of people get very frustrated when they're beginning because it's hard to play a guitar. And most often the case is they just have a guitar with a really high action. And it would be hard for anybody to play, you know? So.
And remember, even if you mess it up and you overcorrect and now the strings aren't even ringing, you can correct it back.
There you go.
This has quite a margin of motion. And same here, you can lower it, you can heighten it. There are plenty of tutorial videos. We're not going to get into all the particular details, but don't be afraid to not only know how to play your instrument, but also know how to adjust it, because it will shift on you. Even when you set it up, half a year later, the weather will change, the humidity will change, something's gonna change, and you should know how to identify it and try not to return it to Guitar Center.
The seasons of change of life.
That's winds of change.
The winds of change. Okay.
Yeah. That's
beautiful, but also intimidating.
It's a little scary, but you see, when you do it over and over and over again, and you change your own strings, and you don't pay the Guitar Center employee to change strings for you.
Yeah, you should do that.
You should, yeah.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
You should, and just don't be afraid to look up a tutorial, or ask how to change a guitar string, how to lower a saddle on the Stratocaster type bridge.
Go for it.
Yeah, which way to twist the Allen wrench to adjust the truss rod so it straightens out the neck.
And another thing, I feel like the more you understand your instrument, the more of a connection you're going to have with it, and the more you're going to end up playing it and like it also. Like when I learned how to change the oil on my Jeep. Really? I started waving a little extra emphatically to the other Jeep owners. Because they knew. I knew that they knew. That's his favorite thing when we're in the Jeep. Every time I wave, he laughs at me. Every time, without question.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
I try to ham it up a little bit.
That's funny.
Another tip. The strings matter, for sure.
Yes.
A lot of the inexpensive acoustic guitars specifically will come with uncoated strings, which I think are harder to play. I really like the coated strings. Now, it used to be Elixir was like the only game in town. Elixir had the ones to go to. Now there are other, Martin makes coated strings, Bog Street makes coated strings, like a lot of good ones out there. I like coated strings. I put them on all my guitars. Again, if the strings are hurting your hands, there's a correction for that, and that would be coated strings. Again, a lot of people start off on an inexpensive acoustic guitar, and then it comes with like the trash, awful strings that will like actually cut you.
Yeah.
So strings can be changed. They should be changed semi-often. Less often if you get coated ones. So even though they're more expensive at first, they pay for themselves over time. So that's something that you want to take into account. And to a similar extent, the same on electric. I wouldn't say it's the same. Like they make coated electric strings too. Mm-hmm. Those don't bother me as much. I just play Ernie Ball 10s, standard on mine, and they're great. Next
tangential tip to what Sean just said is the gauge of the strings. The thicker they are, it's going to be harder to squeeze them depending on the action of your guitar. Mm-hmm. Or if you're looking to get into the pentatonic bends, it's going to be easier to bend 8s or 9s. I know everyone's doing like 9s or 8s on the 25.5-inch scale. Did you know that Hendrix played 8s? And Van Halen played 8s? And it turns out like everyone actually played 8s or 9s, and then 9, 10, and 11 actually came like in later 2000s.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it kind of became a fashion,
It's very interesting.
For like djent.
So there you go. Now some styles, like jazz styles in particular, use thicker strings, right? Because maybe you're not into those huge pentatonic bends. You just want like maybe a thicker tone, essentially. I get gent it out, right? Maybe you want to put bass strings on your guitar. Who knows? But that comes back to who do you want to sound like? Who do the people you listen to? What do they play? Great place to start as far as like choosing a gauge.
Exactly.
And gear. Now, I've talked a lot about acoustics. What about electrics? There are different brands and stuff, choose from different iterations of pickups and stuff. What would your tip next be for choosing that?
Let's say you're listening to somebody that plays with a lot of distortion and delay and reverb, and it's very like sustained, very melodic, sort of like shred guitar lead. And then the Guitar Center rep, you should try this Stratocaster. Don't listen to them. What if the person's doing like arpeggio runs that go up to the 24th fret, and the guitar that you're looking or admiring only has 21 or 22 frets? So I understand the allegiance to the brand name, but your choice should be driven spec-wise. So different brands, different manufacturers, there's a certain level of number of components that go into each guitar. So the way I pick out a guitar, and the way I picked out a guitar, the first one I bought after saving up very long time, trying to save up for it. It was based on the number of frets. I wanted 24 frets. I wanted 7 strings. I wanted Floyd Rose. That's a particular type of bridge, floating bridge with a locking system. And I wanted particular types of pickups. Now, if you're unfamiliar with pickups, again, are you like looking to play very clean or like distorted noises? Because standard single coil pickups will hum naturally under overdrive and distortion unless you pay more for noiseless single coils, but they won't sound like regular single coils, or like humbuckers. They buck the hum. Nothing hums. That's where the name of the humbucker comes. So they're like a list of components. And then it even goes deeper than that.
Sure.
Like the tone cap, the orange drop or something, And then the pots. Is it like 500K or 250K, pot, And then a coily cable.
You've lost me there. The pots.
The pots.
I'm not a pot guy.
Okay. Oh, also the pot taper. So there's a linear taper and there's a digital. I don't know. There's like there's like a line like that or that goes like that. So one you can do volume swells very easily, and the other one is like more natural, rolls off gradually. I was told this. I was told this by a guitar repair guy, how pots actually affect the tone as you roll the pot down.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's like there's a difference between linear taper and analog taper or something like that.
And that's how you go from choosing between acoustic and electric to linear pot tapers.
Oh, dude!
In the course of one video.
A bad place to start would be Stratocaster owners' Facebook group, where full-grown men argue about the type of springs that are in the back, how they affect the tone, the material of the plate that is in the back of a Stratocaster, how much it affects the tone, and the number of screws that you leave in the, 4 versus 6, how much it affects the tone of a Stratocaster.
I'm a little embarrassed that you've shown the back plate on my Strat on video now, and the people know I haven't taken it off. I'm a little embarrassed.
Are you supposed to?
But yeah, I think so. My 62 has it off.
Okay.
The John Mayer Strat comes with it off, or came with it off. And listen, these are not questions for me. I just want to get something cool, plug it in, sound like my heroes, wow my family, and then become a true legend.
To go off of this particular tip, don't buy guitars.
Can I get sued for this? Is it?
Oh, good luck. I'll make an unboxing video of the letter. I got sued by... I would love to get sued by...
That'd be great.
That'd be the ultimate flex. I would call Rick Beato and see how I could testify before Congress, about...
Anyway! Any more tips and tricks? Think that's about it? Buying used?
Oh! Number next. Definitely used.
Yeah.
Definitely used.
Okay. Why is that?
If the guitar is made well, and it wasn't played that much, which most of the time it really isn't because somebody buys it because it's their hobby. They're not like a professional player.
And they don't watch our videos.
So
they just gave it up.
Exactly. It's no longer the price of a new. And these guitars are not dairy products. They don't go skim or not skim. Sour. They're supposed to be made to last. So if you can find something that was issued like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, even like last year or two, dude, find used. Yeah, it's going to be so much better price. And,
it's not like buying a Jeep Wrangler.
No.
Where it's going to hold its value because you're part of the family and the community when you do. It's not like that at all.
It's not like a cult, like a Jeep Wrangler cult.
It's much different. So yeah, buy used.
Buy used.
But I think that it's good if you have somebody who knows about guitars. It's good to bring them with you in a buying used situation. I've seen some stuff like buying used stuff sight unseen. You're rolling the dice a little bit.
Yeah, you should always see it.
I remember I bought a Telecaster from Guitar Center used, and it's like, oh, like new, just like that guitar that we were just talking about, like American Telly, like, oh, sweet, it's only like $700, whatever. So it's from a different Guitar Center. I had it shipped to the one that I went to. I picked it up, and like all the components were not Fender components.
Wow.
And it's like, what? This isn't a Fender bridge even, and they just kind of stripped it and stuff. So I mean, like, it can be a little dodgy sometimes, and that's why it's good to have somebody who knows what they're doing beside you. Just call Dovy up. He'll drive out.
Yeah, 1-800 Ask Dovy.
1-800 Ask Dovy. Oh, that's perfect. That should be a billboard.
You dial the number, it redirects you to like Gibson customer support or something.
1-800 Ask Dovy. So I think that's all our tips and tricks today.
Yes.
Get yourself a guitar.
Do it!
Oh my god. Dovy, thank you so much for helping me with this.
Thank you.
Helping educate the people. If you don't know this man, absolute legend, I'll link his channel. He slays it. Best guitar player I know.
Thank you.
It's not named Sean Daniel.